Talk to Me is terrifying. Horror movies don't really scare me as much anymore, at least don't surprise me most of the time, but this movie is something else. Being an A24 movie, I thought I knew what to expect. Not necessarily over the top, but just a psychological build-up until a crazy, maybe even underwhelming ending. Nope. Talk to Me subverted my expectations and scared the shit out of me. Talk to Me is about a group of teens who discover they can talk to spirits, using a severed hand. Like a real hand. It's been embalmed or something. Anyway, eventually things take a turn for the worse, a really bad turn, and then it gets worse from there. The gore and makeup in this movie is next level. There's this one scene where Riley, the main kid affected by everything going on, starts to pull out his eye. Ugh. It's so gross. The makeup for the spirits is also top tier. They're so slimy and just gross. And even though they all look similar to each other, they're all different somehow. Like each one evokes a similar but different feeling of disgust. Apart from that, the movie is really funny. Like obviously it's also terrifying, but it had me and the rest of the theater laughing a bunch. Especially the first half of it before it delves into more devastating psychological stuff. It's almost a comedy. No, actually, I take that back. The way they used the camera to elevate scares was awesome too. Having the camera tilt back with someone's head is actually kind of terrifying. Something I personally love is cinematography, so it's cool to see this movie having some really cool and beautiful shots. Sophie Wilde, who plays the lead, is phenomenal. Most of the movie is either a scene with her or just her, and she never fails. All the scenes with her and her mom are devastating. Whenever she is just destroyed by something, you feel it with her. Something this movie does exceptionally well, besides the horror, is making you feel with the characters. They wrote them, especially the main four, really well. It wasn't just Sophie who gave a good performance though, everyone did. So, in the latter half of the movie, Sophie Wilde's character Mia is either slightly possessed or just engulfed by grief and regret that she starts listening to her dead mom more and more, who she is now seeing everywhere. Eventually, she kills her dad, which had everyone in the theater shocked and gasping, then goes to kill Riley to, quote, relieve him from his suffering, or so her mom told her. She then kills herself and turns into a spirit. Here's what I think. Her dad wasn't ever lying about anything. Her mom really did struggle with depression and killed herself, and the note she left was real. What wasn't real was the spirit of her mom. It wasn't actually her mom, or if it was, she was being controlled by something else. I say this because everything the spirit of her mom does and says was contradictory or a negative. She caused Mia to kill her dad. Hell, she almost caused Mia to kill Riley, who we see at the end was fine. Mia, at the very end, finally came to realize this and then killed herself. Speaking of the end, I think the ending was perfect. Mia slowly realizing that she did in fact die and then being the spirit talking to someone was really good. The movie theme-wise is all about addiction and mental health, how you can go down a terrible path while grieving, which is what Mia does. They all got high off the hand at the party. They have huge blown out pupils. You light a candle, inhale, and then blow it out and repeat. And there's a time limit to it, saying it lasts this long or you should only do this much. And with the more and more you do it, you destroy yourself, rotting away, maybe hinting at psychosis or even worse things with harder drugs. The mom also mentioned drugs a bunch just as a subtle, or not so subtle I guess, foreshadowing. This movie is made by RackaRacka, who if you don't know them are YouTubers, and this movie just feels like they had fun with it. They didn't have to change their style, they just went with what they know. Overall, Talk to Me is probably the best horror movie of the year. It was scary, funny, and crazy. But let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Disagree? Who knows?